Caution: resin model kits and aftermarket parts is hazardous to your health. When sanding or machining, wear a dust or fume respirator and clean all surrounding surfaces with a wet rag. Alternatively, wet sand surfaces submerged in a bucket or under running water. Thank you. Hello and welcome to another modelling video. This is Alan from the McConaughey at YouTube with another modelling video. Today I've got a T-26T artillery tractor, a very rare model made out of resin. Don't know who made it. I purchased it from a model swap and sell for $2 and pre-painted. I didn't even know what tank it was or if it had missing parts. It was identified as a T26 by the tank Facebook group. A fantastic place, good for reference materials and checking out models. Let's have a look at what I do with this very interesting model. Now, this is the first time I've actually bought a model off someone with the intention of stripping the paint and starting from scratch off their mistakes. Being painted in enamels, it took a few days to soak in liquid bleach. Make sure to be careful around liquid bleach. Follow the paint stripping tutorial, which went to the point of the model falling apart itself, loosening up the glues and the putties falling out of all the little holes. After a rinse and inspection, I spent another day soaking in bleach with the ultrasonic cleaner, just vibrating for a few minutes here and there throughout the day, and employing running water and a toothbrush to clear as much paint as possible. Surprisingly, for cleaning resin with detergent or bleach, an ultrasonic cleaner works quite well in getting to all the little hard to get nooks and crannies. Being cast in a quite a white resin, it's hard to see where the mistakes and holes and whatnot are. A quick clean in detergent and a scrub down, followed by airbrushing Mr. Surfacer 500 to see if I can fill in any of those tiny holes, and looking out for larger holes and areas that needs cleaning. I went through a few processes of cleaning up this kit. After the first coat of primer, I removed any excess flash. I had a big resin blob right in front of the hull and a few smaller blobs around the tracks. This was easily carved away with a knife and then sanded back. Being resin, always wear a respirator or do it wet, as resin dust is carcinogenic. Gave some of the small holes filling with super glue. Primed everything again with Mr. Surfacer 500. Sand back. Added putty to larger holes and 2 parts epoxy to massive holes or gaps in thin amount of armour or tracks. Applied putty or primer one more time and black primer just to compare. Being just a quick project, once reasonably satisfied with the majority of the major faults out of the way, I applied Gaia Node's oxidization red primer for a bit of a tank-like undercoat. Then proceed to pre-shade black Mr. Surfacer 1500 for a bit of shading. Next, I airbrushed Tamiya acrylics to get the base colour with a tiny bit of post-shading of tan to give a bit of life and colour. The tracks and extra details were hand-painted as well in the same range of colours. Then the whole surface was sludge washed using Citadel black ink, followed by a top coat of clear matte. And here is our done product. I don't have anything spectacular to add. I didn't put that much effort or work. It could have been more cleaning, more detailing, more weathering, more all sorts of things. It is a very unusual and rare subject. I understand the real tank was not produced so widely as others. More or less historically a tractor to pull artillery pieces into the line of fire. Very early war piece. I suppose it would have been very useful for hauling cargo and troops and all sorts of other bits and bobs. I suppose if we want to get really artistic, this kit would go amazingly well in a figurative diorama setting of pulling an artillery piece and having miniatures or figures milling around it, doing some sort of activity. But if you're doing that sort of thing, it'd probably be more appropriate in 35th scale, which I suppose would be a much larger chance of this kit being available. Nonetheless, nothing too much to it. I suppose you could modify existing models to make this, though all in all, being a 72nd, 76 scale collector, I'm just very happy to have this in my collection as a unusual early war armor piece. More importantly, I think this model gained me valuable experience in painting, more working with resin or weathering, as well as further experimenting with stripping of paint and working off someone else's model, which I've never done before. Saying that, I'm not likely to ever enter this in a competition as it's not 100% my work, but again, it's in my collection. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, until next time, I plan on doing a lot more armor reviews shortly. I do love putting these little guys together, as well as more tutorials and Gundam modeling stuff. Catch you guys next time.